Hey guys, today I'm going to be showcasing one of my crazier solos that I've ever done. This Princess Ky'Veza kill took a little over 6 hours, which is the longest fight I've ever had to do, and used some pretty interesting strategies that I'm pretty surprised work, because a lot of things had to align correctly in order for this to be possible. Your guys' support means the world to me, so if you like what you see and you want to see more, consider subscribing. If you want to watch the full kill, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. The main difficulty in surviving this encounter is dealing with the Tank Buster, Void Shredders, which deals heavy damage and leaves behind a debuff that increases damage taken from further casts. Despite dealing a lot of damage, this is survivable by just maintaining cooldowns and using our rotation properly. On top of surviving, of course, our goal during this phase is just to do as much damage as we can. So what about the Enrage? Well, Ky'Veza doesn't have a traditional Enrage in the sense that she doesn't get some crazy damage increase, but instead she'll start casting Eclipse, covering the entire room over and over again for the rest of the fight. This is, of course, impossible to survive, so I had to find some way to basically cheese this Enrage. As a monk, we have access to the ability Transcendence, which allows us to mark a point and teleport back to that place later. Before beginning the fight, I discovered I could leave Transcendence outside of the boss room, and after completing the regular intermissions and phases of the fight, teleport out to avoid the Enrage. The problem here is that we don't have line of sight to the boss anymore, and we can't do damage because we're like 60 yards away. Initially, my plan was to use the Mad Queen's Mandate trinket, which allows you to cast while moving and has an extremely long range, as well as the Escape from Reality talent to teleport in and out of the boss room every 2 minutes. Unfortunately, because Transcendence only lasts 15 minutes, eventually I would lose my ability to go back into the boss room. I tried to use the Void Elf racial Spatial Rift in order to teleport to the other side, reuse Transcendence, and escape the boss room by reactivating Spatial Rift, but unfortunately this just doesn't work.
Nope.
Luckily, I discovered there is still one way that we can damage the boss while outside of the room. The Eclipse clips through the... Jesus, what a mouthful. The Eclipse clips through the door just a little bit, so we can still get hit by her ability even though we're outside of the room. By using Siphoning Lightbrand and Ceaseless Swarm Gland, we have a chance to deal damage anytime we are hit. Both of these trinkets ignore line of sight and have an incredibly far range, so they work perfectly for the situation. These trinkets can also trigger from taking damage via stagger, which is fantastic, because it means that we're getting more procs. The rest of the fight is pretty much just maximizing the uptime of how often we're getting hit, without getting hit so often that we accidentally die. It's especially important that we're careful because Ky'Veza's other mechanics are still active, such as Reaper, which if a player drops below 10% health and doesn't heal up quick enough, they will pretty much get insta-killed. Thanks so much for watching. If you had any questions or if I left anything out, feel free to shoot me a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.